Hey DSA coders, I hope you people are doing good. Today, let's solve this problem. Lead code number 1317. The question is convert integer to the sum of two non-zero integers. Okay, which is basically a very easy problem actually. You can think once or twice so that you can able to solve the problem. Okay, let's dive into the question. You there is a non-zero integer is a positive integer that does not contain any zero and its decimal representation. Given an integer n, return a list of two integers a and b where a and b are non-zero integers. Okay, let's take an example. Let's say the n value is 2, n value of 2. So you need to have two array elements such that the sum of the elements is 2. Let's say, let us frame something called sum of elements. So what do I mean is like, let's say 2. You have two arrays, two array elements. Now, one more possibility is like 2 comma 0 or 0 comma 2, right? But as in the question, they have given that it should be non-zero integers. So this doesn't come, this doesn't come. Only this is the valid option. So, okay. From this, what I can see is like it should be only positive integers. Okay. Let me quickly go through it. If I know that the n value is something like 2. Why? Because they are given that it should be like only 2. A plus B equals to n. So the array consists of only two elements, which is A and which is B. If I fix something called A, then definitely the value of B will be n minus A, right? So that is what we are going to do. Let's say A value is I. So the B value will be directly n minus I, right? But here is the twist. We need to find that the A value and the B value is strictly not equals to 0. Okay. So in order to do that, we are going to create one more function which can results as a Boolean value. If it contains 0, it should return false. If it doesn't contain any zeros, it should return true. That's it. Come, let's dive in and write the pseudocode for that. Let's say I have a function of int n. This is the one, right? Now I'm going to create an array of two indexes. Actually, we don't want to create an array as well. We can return directly. So I'm going to return directly. So n is equals to 0, 1, it cannot be possible. So that is the best case for us. If n is strictly equals to 0 or n is strictly equals to 1, then return new int of just an empty array. Why? Because we should not add zero as well, and we should not add negative integers as well. So these two cases will definitely fail. So I had just written an empty array. So let's go into and see what happens next. I'm creating a for loop for int I equals to 1, then I less than or equals to n, then I plus plus. I can run till n. Actually, yeah, I can run till less than n. Why? Because we are not gonna consider n. If we consider n, then definitely it will throw an error. Throw an error in the sense if I consider n value, then the other value could be zero, right? We should not have zero in our computation. So I'm going to run I is less than n. Okay. Now I'm going to check if of is valid. It is a function, user-defined function of I ampersand ampersand is valid of n minus I. If this case is still success, definitely this can be an answer. Return new int of I comma n minus I. That's it. So this is also one of the answer, right? Okay. Let's say you are not going to find. Unless and until this for loop runs, definitely you will find a solution. Let's say at worst case, you are not gonna find anything. Just simply return the same. Return new int of an empty array. That's it. So now we have written the base function, like which is nothing but the main function. Now we need to write the supportive function that is nothing but is valid. So in order to write that, what I'm going to do is like I'm going to create something called public Boolean is valid. Int n. Okay. Now I'm going to run a while loop, which should be greater than 0. That is the edge case. If n modulo 10 is strictly equals to 0, that means any of the digits that is has 0, that should not be included in this. So what I'm going to write, directly return false, else n will be equals to n by 10. That's it, right? So whenever this works comes, first it goes to n modulo 10 equals to 0. It's just check. If it is not 0, then it just goes to the while loop again. Unless and until n value becomes 0, this while loop runs, and simply it just returns true. That's it. As simple as that. Now let us run the dry run and check. Dry run. Yeah. So initially, let me conclude n value equals to 4. Yeah, when n is 4, it comes to this function, I guess. Definitely, this function will not execute because, sorry, when n is equals to 4, it comes to this condition. This condition will not be executed because it's positive. So we are going over here. I will be 1. I will be 1. Then is valid of n minus I will be 3, right? When n is equals to 4, it comes into two way, valid of 1 and valid of 3. It's just check. Definitely it returns true. This also returns true. And finally, we found an array that is nothing but 1, comma 3. It will be returning this. That's it. I hope you enjoyed the today's session. If you have any doubts, let me know. And please do follow, like, share, and subscribe. You are my motivation actually. So I am learning every day because of you people only. So that's it. Yeah. Bye. Have a good day.